Hello and welcome to April. It's Stress Awareness Month. And so today I wanted to talk all about stress because it's something that's actually been quite a big part of my life. Um, and it's something that's really important to me. And I think it's probably affected many people's lives. And if you're drawn to yoga, it may well have been something that impacted your life too, because many of us who practice yoga um, are here for a reason and have been brought because maybe a stressful experience. Maybe we wanted to reduce stress, and that's why we started yoga. Or maybe you don't experience stress at all, in which case, kudos to you. But for me, stress has been something that's been apparent in my life quite a lot, and it actually led to me eventually leaving my job as a class teacher and a senior leader in a school. And that's because long stress over long periods of time can have such a negative impact on our body and physically and mentally. It can lead to heart disease, it can lead to burnout, it can lead to anxiety and depression. And I ended up with anxiety disorder. And actually, this is something that I used to feel really quite ashamed of and embarrassed of, and I felt like a failure. But now I don't feel like a failure. I feel like this is something that happens to many, many people, and we should talk about it more. So yeah, I experienced anxiety disorder and I left teaching due to that. I struggled to cope with even part-time teaching and managing, having a small family. My husband works away quite a lot and it just was too much to manage. And so, yeah, I really crumbled. And I'd been practicing yoga for a really long time myself. And I decided to train as a yoga teacher. And so that's what I did. And I thought, oh, magic, I'll do lots of yoga and then all my stress will go away. And then I realized, oh, shit, now I run my own business and I have lots of other stresses like how do I get paid, and how do I learn all of these business things that I don't know about, and all of these other things came up because I was running my own business, stuff that I hadn't even recognized or thought about. And so I thought I'd just share with you some things that have helped me personally. And so I am not saying these are the go-to things you need to do to reduce stress. I'm not saying these are the perfect things to do in your business. These are just what has helped me. And as always, I just share what's been helpful to me in the hope that it will help other people too. So my first tip is get to know yourself really well. Spend time learning about you. And I honestly think that before I had my own business, I don't think I did know myself very well. I think I masked a lot, pretended a lot, and fulfilled roles that suited other people a lot, especially when I was a senior leader. I put on the smart shoes and the smart clothes, and I armed myself up and went out into the world doing what I thought should be done. But I don't think I actually knew myself very well. And so, what what I think can help here is really spending time meditating and thinking about what things bring you joy, what things bring you stress, what things make you feel light, what things make you feel heavy. Maybe doing some personality tests might help. I've discovered, in fact, I've known for a long time that I was HSP, which is a highly sensitive person. I did know that before I had my own business, but I didn't quite accept it about myself because I thought, oh, sensitive, oh, you're too sensitive, all that stuff. And in recent years, I've come to realize that I'm neurodivergent too. I'm not actually diagnosed yet, but I think it's likely that I have ADHD, and I think it's also likely that I have autism. Um, so getting to know myself and what works for me and what causes stress has been really important for me in creating the business that works for me, and reduces my stress. So figuring out about you, learning about you, getting to know you is really, really important at figuring out, yeah, what can work for you. So what makes you feel stress? Are there any times in your week where you feel particularly stressed? And if you could create your working week just the way you like it, what does that look like for you? So for me, I find that Mondays can be an overwhelming day. I used to teach on a Monday. Actually, Monday used to be my busiest day now that I reflect on it. Monday used to be, I used to teach two classes in the morning. They were parent and baby and a parent and toddler class. Then I used to do a lunchtime class. Then I used to do uh, two or four, depending on whether there are half an hour or hour classes within a school in the afternoon. And then I used to do an after school class on a Monday. Oh, God. And then I was like, oh, hang on, I'm feeling stressed. I don't know why I'm feeling so stressed. Crazy. Then I realized that Mondays is not the day for that. Actually, for me, Mondays needs to be a fairly flexible day for me. So I do work on a Monday, generally, but it tends to be a non-peopling day. It tends to be a day where I look at my week and I think about it's a more relaxed day because I've got kids and they're neurodivergent too, and actually getting one of them to school can be a problem. And so Monday can be quite an intense day for us as a family. Also, I take the kids swimming. So I don't know why I used to do the things I did on a Monday, but I don't do it anymore. So yeah, looking at your week and thinking like, are there any crunch days in the week? And so for me, on Monday was a crunch day and I changed it to suit me. I'm not saying that's what you should do. Your Mondays may be blissful. You may do loads of stuff on a Monday and you may have lots of energy. But what I'm saying is look at your week. Do you have any crunch points? Do you have any times where you're like, oh man, that's a shit show? So another tip is create space, whatever that looks like for you. So for you, space may be just pausing in between classes, or space may be having a whole day in between stuff where you're not seeing people, or space may be having a week off, like if you've got children, having a week off before they have a week off. Whatever space looks like for you. So for me, I like to have buffer days. So I have days where I've already spoken about this, where I don't people, because although I can come across as quite extroverted, I actually am quite introverted. This is a new thing as well that I didn't realize about myself. I thought I was an extrovert. I've since realized I'm quite an introvert, and I do love spending time with people, but it's very, very draining on my energy. And so I have buffer days where I don't people. I also, although I work in schools most weeks, on the last week of term, I don't work in schools. I do work, but I don't work in schools. And that's really important to me because it builds up my energy before the school holiday begins. So building in these little buffers, however that works for you. Another thing that I have worked into my thing recently, which may sound very luxurious, is I don't work in schools in December. I don't work in the schools in December at all now. And that is because what I discovered was December was a really crazy time. And I would go, it felt like every time I went into a school, there would be something different about the space that would make me feel like, oh. And I'm quite a flexible person. And at the time, I would cope with it well. I'm really good in a crisis. I'll be like, oh, so the stage is up and we've got no space. Okay, well, we can do it this way and that's fine and I can handle that. But what I'd found was I'd be really exhausted in the evening from that. And so yeah, I just decided with the schools, and they decided it too, that it actually worked better for December to just not have yoga because they already had a lot going on in the school at that time. So this is just, space, whatever it looks like for you, creating your space. So it could mean as well, like on your lunch times, are you spending time with other people and giving your energy to other people, or are you kind of hunkering down? If you're in my Facebook group, which is the school yoga teachers one, you'll probably have seen photos of me in my car, because quite often I'll go and sit in my car at lunchtime just because it's kind of a nice space to do a bit of yoga nidra, do some breathing, maybe even have a little mini nap sometimes. And so, yeah, creating space however that works for you. And my last idea for reducing stress is reflecting regularly. So, reflecting both on your classes, what's working well within your classes, within your lessons, are the things that are causing you stress within the classes that you teach, are the things that need mixing up, are the things that are causing you stress because you need a bit more help or support, you need more training in that. Are you finding, oh, actually I find this particular aspect of the class stressful because I don't know, I don't manage a behavior very well? Or am I finding this particular aspect of planning quite tricky because I don't know where to get my ideas from? Or, so reflecting in both your classes and also reflecting in your business, what things are not working for you. So taking time to reflect is really, really important. Reflect personally. I actually have quite a nice practice where I reflect on each day, on my energy levels, not just in my business, but personally. So, what's my energy levels like today? Were the ways that I showed up for myself today? Are the things that I did today that self-abandoned? Are the things today that made me feel stressed? And what can I do to reduce that stress? So, just taking a few moments at the end of each day to reflect, both personally and also in your business, in your classes and in your business. And I'm going to be talking more on this next week, actually. I'm going to be sharing with you a really useful tool that I use to reflect in my business next week. So stay tuned for that one. And so, yeah, I think that as people working with children, it's really even more important that we manage our stress levels. And that's because it doesn't just impact us, but it ripples out. And actually, this study's been done. I did quite a lot of work about burnout in my Masters of Mental Health and Wellbeing in Education. And the research shows that when teachers are stressed, it ripples out and it impacts the children and they learn less, and they can't cope as well. And they then take on that stress. And so actually, we know this. We know that, our energy levels ripple out and impact everybody else. And so it's really important for you to manage your stress. So as it's Stress Awareness Month, maybe that could be a focus for you. Or maybe you feel like you've got it covered, in which case, well done to you. But I think it's something to keep returning to because it's something that keeps coming around and around and around. Even I feel sometimes like, oh yeah, I've got this sorted, I'm not stressed at all. And then bam, something will happen. And I realize, oh yeah, actually, I haven't really been making time for myself in some way. So hopefully you found this useful, and I'd really love to know your thoughts on this. How do you feel about stress? Is it something that you experience? If you're feeling stressed in any part of your business, then get in touch about having an hour stress less call with me. So a stress less call is basically how it works. You email me, say, I'm stressed in my business, help in some aspect. And then I email you a question, just a really simple Google form for you to tell me all about your business. So we're not wasting any time in our hour together to do that. And then once I've received that, we collaborate and discuss a time when we can meet together that works for both of us, because don't want to stress. And then we have an hour together and I help you to problem solve, and I help talk about where the areas are that may be causing a bit of a problem for you. And so if this is something you're interested in, email me, julia@juliahankins.co.uk, and we'll schedule in an hour. They are just £150, and it's an hour of my undivided time. And it's more than that, actually, because it's the time before where I will read your questions and think through, okay, so I kind of do some pre-working. We have an hour together where I mentor and coach you. And then if there's any resources that I have that I think will help you, then I share those with you for free. So any kind of extra stuff that I think, oh, this could be useful for you, I will share it with you. And then if there's anything that I think that I could support you with in terms of mentoring, then I will share that with you too. But there's never any pressure. So that's a stress less hour. Maybe you might like to do that with me, or perhaps you might like to do some mentoring with me. As it's April, I now actually have some new availability to mentor two. Yeah, I've got 2 spots available for mentoring, and that's a 6-month mentoring program. And that's consisted of 5 sessions that can be taken anytime within those 6 months. So it works sometimes. Some people like it where they have like one every week and then it's done. And some people like it one every other week. Some people like one every month. Some people like a couple close together and then a gap and then a couple close together. And it can be about any sort of issues that you've got in your business. So it could be supporting you to help with any behavior management or any particular classes that aren't going well. It could be supporting you with any communication that you're struggling with, or if you just having trouble planning or getting going on anything and you just need extra support. Also, you might find my trainings useful, so check out my trainings page on my website. I'll put a link there. So hopefully you found this useful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and yeah, sign up to my mailing list where I share regular content each week. So thanks for watching, and I'd love to hear back from you. Do you experience stress as a yoga teacher, or is stress now no longer part of your life? I'd love to know. Thanks for watching. Bye.